What's up, you guys? This is Steven, and I'm back with another photo analysis. This time I'll be analyzing the album cover of Nami Tamaki's debut album, Greeting. When I first looked at this album cover, I was like, what? Really? This is odd. I mean, the theme of the album is greeting, but she looks more like, you know, she's a wizard. I don't know. It looks weird. Like, this outfit, like, the wardrobe for this photo, it doesn't really seem to work with the theme greeting as well. It doesn't seem to really work at all. Like for a debut album, I think Nami Tamaki should be sending the message that, she's the new princess of J-pop, not the new wizard of J-pop. You know, I don't think, this album cover is not going to make kids follow the yellow brick road to go buy this album based on this album cover. I think it looks a bit juvenile as well. I think that Nami Tamaki, if you look at her face, it looks like she's not even really feeling this photo shoot. It's like, her facial expression kind of looks like, really? Am I really posing in an outfit that makes me look like, the Wizard of J-pop, the Wizard of Oz? Really? I guess so. And also, if you look at her hair, her hair looks like it has split ends. Like, that's not a good look for an album cover, especially a debut album. I think that her hairstylist, if she had one, should have done a better job with her hair, you know. And if there was an issue with her hair that they couldn't fix, then, they could have just put her hair behind her instead of having it, showing in the picture. You know, that hat that she's wearing covers up a lot, and at least they could have used that hat to cover up her hair. You know, since her hat is covering up her face, it's not doing any justice to her face. It's kind of looking like, it almost kind of looks like, the hat is wearing Nami versus Nami is wearing the hat. If that makes sense. I think the hat kind of has, a bit too strong of a presence. Another issue I have is with the way that the outfit that she's wearing makes her arms look. It makes her arms look like they're not in proportion to each other. If you look at her arm on the right and her arm on the left, they look like they're two different arms. They're not, but they look like it. If you took away the sleeves, I'm pretty sure Nami Tamaki's arms would look great. Or at least, took the sleeves back some and maybe showed, her forearms instead of just covering up, everything, her whole entire arm. But I will say that I like the positioning of her hand that's in the top left hand corner. I like how that looks. But I don't like the positioning of her other hand. It looks like she didn't position it well enough, and because of that, her hand looks like it's out of proportion to her other hand. It doesn't, like, she looks like she has two different hands a little bit. And also, it's like one hand seems to have some, or one, like, her hand on the left in the top left hand corner seems to have fingernail polish on it, something like that. If it's not, it looks like it. But her hand on the other side doesn't look like it has any fingernail polish on it. So it looks like she has two totally different hands all together now. Like, it looks like she's wearing nails on that hand, and on the other hand, it doesn't look like she's wearing nails. It's like things aren't matching up, Her whole body, her whole body comes off as asymmetrical. It like the one side doesn't match with the other. And I will say that, as human beings, I think we are, you know, our bodies probably are slightly asymmetrical, at least. But, it's not supposed to look like that on the album cover, especially your debut album cover as well. You know, a photo that's going to follow you for the rest of your career, if not the rest of your life. But I will say that she has good neck in this photo. I like the way her neck looks in this photo. If she had lost her neck in this photo would be a total disaster. This photo is already disastrous as it is. But if she had lost her neck, it would have been like four times worse. But her facial expression here, like, it's a bit on the nose. It's, for me personally, it looks like it's not quite here and it's not quite there. She looks like she's doubting herself. Her facial expression expresses a lot of doubt to me personally. As well, the hat and the hair on her forehead don't help give me a good look at her face. This is a debut album cover, so we should probably, the audience should be able to see a good look at Nami Tamaki's face. I like the setting of the photo. The setting is very simplistic. The background is very simplistic. It looks like she's in like a tunnel, but it's like a all white tunnel that's bright. And as well, you can see like her reflection. If you look at her hat and you look a little above it, you can see her reflection. So that's nice. And you see like the whiteness in the back behind her, behind her head and behind her hat. You can see that. So it looks like she's kind of like in like a very weird, odd tunnel. But I think that's a good look. I think it looks nice. But this outfit it's not working. I don't get the deal with the polka dots. I know that's supposed to add some creativity to the wardrobe, but it doesn't work for me. And as well, the hat, again, I don't understand like the hat in this photo as well as the polka dots on the hat in this photo. I think the hat takes away from Nami Tamaki. It doesn't add to her. At least not in this particular photo they took. It looks like she's wearing like a skirt based on what we see. It looks like she's wearing boots as well. Again, I think that this outfit probably could work, but they would have to revamp this outfit. They would have to take away the sleeves, at least the extremely long sleeves. At least either take the sleeves away, to the point where you see just maybe the sleeves covering her shoulders, or maybe the sleeves just covering her upper arm. I think that's enough. I think that would have helped make the outfit work better, in my opinion. But again, maybe they didn't have access to a tailor, so they just had to work with what they had. But I think that, this was not the best outfit. I'll put it like that. And Nami Tamaki kind of looks like she's like, yeah, I don't think this is a very good look for me. If you look at her eyes, it seems like one eye, the eye on the left seems to be leaning toward the right, while her eye on the right seems to be looking straight ahead. So it seems like she's not totally fixed, like her eyes aren't fixed on one specific, object or area. So again, that just, plays into like the whole like disaster theme that's going on. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the theme that they were going for, but this whole photo seems like it's just not the best look for Nami Tamaki, especially for a debut album. But I will say that we all have embarrassing childhood photos, and this is, Nami Tamaki's embarrassing childhood photo. However, we're lucky enough, us regular folk, we're lucky enough to have photos that aren't, released to the public on album covers. But Nami Tamaki's embarrassing childhood photo will live on and follow her for the rest of her life, or at least the rest of her music career. One of the two. I think Nami Tamaki needs to take a lesson from Miss Brittany Spears, because way back in the day when Brittany Spears was just entering the music industry, they wanted her to wear some outfit that was kind of like this and do some weird, campy, cheesy video for Baby One More Time. But Brittany was like, nah, y'all ain't gonna play me like that. So instead, Brittany was like, hey, let's how about I dress up as a wholesome Catholic schoolgirl tramp, and guess what? Like that, that changed her life. She made millions upon millions of dollars because of that. As well, she became an international pop phenomenon because of that. So sometimes it's good to speak up and kind of like see if you can change some things. I know that Nami Tamaki is contractually obligated to do this, and probably she didn't have artistic control and whatnot. But still, maybe if she had just argued her point better, she probably could have came out with a better photo for her debut album. But to make a long story short, overall, this album cover doesn't work for me because it's not a good photo. It's not a good representation of Nami Tamaki. The album cover didn't really incorporate the theme, greeting, into the album cover. As well, the photo isn't really that good. There's a lot of issues with it, as I mentioned before. Her hair, her arms, her wardrobe, her facial expression. Like a lot of things are working against her in this photo. Had she had a stronger facial expression, I think that could have just sold the photo better. Had she just delivered, the good neck that she has in this photo and a strong facial expression, it might have worked better. I will say that, facial expressions can make or break a photo. If you have good body language with a bad facial expression, then the photo doesn't work. If you have bad body language with a good facial expression, then the photo might have, it might be salvageable. But I've gone on for too long as it is with this photo analysis. I didn't really mean to come off as, bashing, Nami Tamaki's debut album photo as much. But for me personally, I just think that it has a lot of issues, But hey, feel free to tell me what you think. Feel free to leave me your comments. I appreciate the feedback and the support. So thanks a lot for listening to my photo analysis. Until the next photo analysis, adios and goodbye for now.